My name is Daniel. I am 38 years old. I lost something in my family long before I knew what it was, and I only saw it when it was already gone. I remember the day the truth began to breathe. I did not understand it then. I just felt a small crack inside me. That crack would grow quietly for many years. I grew up in a small house with pale walls and a narrow hall. The floor made soft sounds when we walked. The kitchen always smelled of tea. My mother woke up early every day. My father came home late every night. This was normal to me. I thought this was how families worked. At breakfast, my mother smiled. She cut bread into even pieces. She asked me if I slept well. My father read the paper. He did not look at me much. He did not look at her much either. I did not think about it. I was young, and silence felt normal. After school, I did my homework at the table. My mother washed dishes. The sound of water filled the room. Sometimes she stopped and looked at the window. Her face went still. Then she smiled again when she saw me watching. I did not understand it then. My father spoke little at home. When he did speak, his voice was calm. Too calm. He asked simple questions. He talked about work. He never talked about feelings. I learned to be quiet like him. That was not the hardest part. The hardest part was thinking quiet meant peace. On Sundays, we visited my aunt. She lived across town. Her house was louder. People laughed more there. I liked it. My mother laughed too, but her laugh felt careful, like she was holding something back. I thought she was just shy. When I was 12, I found a small box in my mother's drawer. It was wooden. It felt warm in my hands. Inside, there were old photos and letters. The letters were folded many times. I did not read them. I only touched them. I felt like I was holding something alive. My mother walked in. She froze. Her face lost its color. She took the box from me and closed the drawer. She said nothing. Later, she hugged me longer than usual. That night, I could not sleep. I did not know why. Years passed. I grew taller. I grew quieter. Our house stayed the same. The walls did not change. The silence did not change either. Sometimes I heard my parents talking late at night. Their voices were low. I could not hear words, only wait. I told myself all families had secrets. I told myself secrets were normal. Slowly, I did not ask questions. I learned that not asking kept things smooth. When I was 18, I left for school in another city. My mother cried at the station. My father shook my hand. His grip was firm. His eyes were dry. On the train, I felt light and heavy at the same time. I thought distance would bring clarity. I was wrong. I called home every week. My mother talked about small things, weather, food, neighbors. My father said hello and goodbye. Nothing more. Sometimes I heard something tired in my mother's voice. I asked if she was okay. She said yes. Always yes. During my second year, my aunt called me. Her voice was tight. She asked if I had time to visit. She did not say why. I went the next weekend. The house smelled like soup. She looked older. She sat close to me. She said my mother was sick, not in her body, in her heart. She said my parents had not been honest with me. She stopped talking. She waited. I felt my hands shake. I asked what she meant. She looked at the floor. She said my father was not my father. The words were soft. They hit hard. I could not breathe for a moment. I laughed. I said she was wrong. She shook her head. She said my mother had loved another man before. She said that man left. She said my father stayed. He agreed to raise me as his own. They never told me. They thought it was kinder. I walked outside. The air felt sharp. Cars passed. People talked. Life continued. Slowly, I stood still. That was not the hardest part. The hardest part was thinking of all the quiet moments again. All the silence, all the careful smiles. They were not empty. They were full of effort. I went home that night. My mother was in the kitchen. She looked at me and knew. She sat down. Her hands trembled. She said my name. She said she was sorry. Her eyes were wet. My father stood by the door. He did not come closer. I wanted to shout. I wanted to ask why. I wanted to ask everything. But no words came. My mother spoke slowly. She said she was young. She said she was afraid. She thought love could grow into truth. She said she wanted to protect me. My father said nothing. His face was tight. He looked smaller than I remembered. I asked my father if he ever loved me. He looked at me then. His eyes were tired. He said yes. He said he loved me every day. He said that was his choice. His voice broke once. Just once. I stayed quiet. I nodded. I went to my old room. I lay on the bed. The ceiling had a small crack. I had seen it 1,000 times. Slowly, it looked wider now. I stayed for 3 days. We ate together. We talked little. Everything felt slow, heavy. At night, I heard my parents whisper again. This time, I knew what lived in those whispers. When I left, my mother hugged me. She cried into my coat. My father stood close. His hand stayed there longer than before. Back at school, I tried to live normally. I went to class. I met friends. I smiled. Inside, I felt split. I did not know where I belonged. I asked myself questions late at night. Who am I? Who is my family? What is a lie? What is love? I did not understand it then. I thought truth would bring relief. Instead, it brought work. Years went by. I finished school. I found a job. I moved again. I visited home on holidays. Things were polite, kind, careful. My father tried harder. He asked about my life. My mother watched us both. Her eyes followed every word. One evening, my father and I fixed a chair together. The leg was loose. We worked in silence. He handed me tools. Our hands touched once. It felt simple, real. He said he was proud of me. He had never said that before. I felt something settle inside me. Not joy, not pain. Something steady. Later that night, I sat with my mother. She held a cup of tea. Her hands were calm now. She asked if I hated her. I shook my head. I said I was tired. She nodded. She said she was tired too. That was the turning moment. I saw that Belai was not just words. It was fear. It was love trying to survive. I did not forgive them all at once. Forgiveness came in small steps. A visit, a call, a shared meal, silence that felt less sharp. Now I'm at 38. My parents are older. My father moves slower. My mother rests more. When we sit together, the room feels warmer. Not perfect, but honest enough. The secret is no longer hidden. It sits between us like an old photo on a shelf. We see it. We do not touch it often, but it is there. In the evening, when I visit, I make tea in the same kitchen. The floor still makes soft sounds. The walls are the same. I sit at the table. My father reads. My mother watches the window. The silence is still there, but now it can breathe.